MMGA, what's going on? Pastor Julius, this beauty right here.
What's poppin'?
We're ready to get it cracking for another one of those editions.
Another ep.
Another ep. And I'm fighting through these allergies.
Yeah, me too. Today's mine started back.
Allergies, this pollen count is ridiculous.
I think they sprayed something in the air this time.
I think they did something else.
Yeah.
Because it's intense.
Yeah, no, it ain't the same. It ain't normal. No allergy medicine is working. It's bringing about all kind of symptoms. How you think you got COVID? You got allergies.
Man, I was down. I had chills and everything with this allergy.
Well, I think you had a sinus infection though.
Maybe. It was something else. I know it wasn't COVID.
No.
You know?
I don't know about y'all, but have you ever reached in the back of your refrigerator and taken old antibiotics?
Yeah, that's what I did.
If we have any extra antibiotics in the house, Julius is going to take them.
Absolutely.
And he'd be like, and look, I feel better the next day.
Yep, I do.
So do antibiotics not expire?
I mean, I'm not taking spoiled ones. They got to be within that. But
well, what's crazier is that there shouldn't be any extra left. That means that we're not finishing our full doses.
I mean, somebody didn't finish their full dose, and I got the extras.
You got the extra?
Yeah, I got the extras.
Touche.
So that I could feel better. Hey, y'all, I'm glad y'all popped in, and we want to talk about something I feel like is good. It's important in relationships because, see, y'all out there, y'all like to go off of
you
what
gonna point
stuff,
your finger at them?
Yeah. Y'all like to go off of what stuff look like all the time. See?
Or what it feel like.
See, y'all when it come to this dating and these relationships and this marriage and all of those things, y'all like to go off of what it look like and what it feel like all the time. And if that's the foundation of your decisions, then you mess around and find yourself in some messed up situations.
Yeah, if that's all you look, absolutely.
So today we want to talk about the pitfalls of potential.
I hate that word.
Why you hate the word potential?
I forget where I heard from maybe one of my mentors. He basically was like, all potential means is that you haven't done anything.
See, for me, that sounds like a person that's frustrated with somebody who they had high expectations for.
But I mean, if you think about potential, that's all it means. It's whatever's on the person or whatever, a program, a plant, a business, it could have it's full of potential. It just means, so you ever had somebody, like something tragic happened and they be like, man, he has so much potential.
I have. I've
like
heard
an
people say
athlete,
that.
like tear something and it ruined his career. And the people will be like, oh, he had so much potential. What it means is he had the ability to be something great, but now he can't.
But when you define it like all it means is you haven't done anything yet, for me, that's almost like a very negative viewpoint on potential.
I mean, I don't know what else potential is. Potential means you haven't done what it is that is inside of you to do.
But let's be clear though. You make decisions a lot of the times off of potential. Like, I feel like potential is more than just the fact that someone hasn't done anything yet. It's also the fact of something great could come out of this. And so you make decisions a lot of times based on potential. People make decisions to purchase homes based on potential.
I mean,
People
they do.
make decisions to do investments based on potential.
It's kind of risky though, because you can be like, is this going to be like potentially? It could. Like it's kind of like this.
Or was it potential? Or was it?
Don't do that. Don't do this.
Potentially.
How do you say it?
Potentially.
Potentially. Don't I added an N?
Potentially. That's what you said.
It sounded right.
It did. Did it feel right?
Yeah. Probably because I've been saying it like that for 41 years.
Wow.
Potentially.
Potentially.
Potentia.
Yeah, potentia.
Sounds Spanish.
Yeah. A little Spanish,
Potentia.
Potentially.
Potentially.
Yeah.
So potentially.
Yeah. There we go. There we go.
Is risky.
It is.
Because I've heard that even said before, like if you're asking about something and people want a guarantee and the other person's like, potentially.
It could potentially happen, bro.
Right.
There's
it's
potential
gray.
there. You know.
What means There's no guarantee. That's what that word means for me. It hasn't happened yet, and there's no guarantee. There's so many other things that have to happen in order for us to really, if this thing really manifests. And so when you're dealing with people, I feel like it's risky and dangerous.
I mean, I feel like life is risky and dangerous because I feel like the majority of things that we do, truth be told, is based off of potential.
I mean, life is full of potential.
Because we don't know a lot of what the outcome is going to be off of the decisions that we make.
I mean, yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know. There's potential.
But we're talking today about people.
Well, it was just about like the negative aspect of it. If it just means you haven't done anything yet. And another person might say, well, I mean, you could say you haven't done anything yet, or you could say greatness just hasn't they're waiting to materialize greatness.
You're saying it really, really nice really, really like politically correct.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you just said the same thing I said. That's why you are Pastor Jew, because you have just an amazing way at delivering that stuff. I don't have I don't have a filter. I'll just say like, man, you ain't did nothing yet, dog.
Right. Now you tell that to somebody, they like, oh man, I suck. You know what I'm saying? Or then you could tell them like, man, greatness is waiting to materialize through you, bro. It's the same thing.
And that's negative self-talk. I mean, that's how I deal with myself. I named my whole coaching business Potential to Promise.
Because you wanted to get out of potential.
I want to get out of potential into the promise.
So you're wanting to get people out of just having an ability to do something.
Correct.
To actually doing something.
And I did that successfully.
You did.
I was able to help a lot of people go from...
You did.
There's this possibility of me being great here.
Yeah.
Well, let's take you from there and actually get you to what's promised.
So basically getting them from seed form to harvest.
Yes. And that's how I think of potential. I think of potential as a seed. And there's so many things that have to happen in order for that seed to bring what is inside of. But if the soil's not right, if the temperatures, if it's not buried deep enough, if it's not watered correctly, there's so many other things that have to happen.
But here's why I love potential though.
Why?
Because without it, ain't nothing. Without a seed, you ain't even getting no harvest.
I mean,
so
everything has potential.
To be there.
Anybody who's breathing right now has potential.
Right.
I think what has been a detriment to all of us is life be lifing. And when the dynamics of life hit, man, you have so many dead seeds because it wasn't nurtured correctly.
So we're talking about this potential piece, y'all. I think this is a good topic. And I think it's going to help a lot of people out there that's dating, that
for sure
is getting ready to enter back into the dating realm. All of this type of stuff, relationships, business opportunities, like all of these things where potential is the driving force.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So what does it take then?
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's a great question.
Because truth of the matter is okay, baby girl. You're 28, got your college degree or degrees, right? You're working in your career, handling your business, and you come across, Mr. So-and-so. Mm-hmm. He's got potential. He kind of checks off the majority of the things that's on your box that you're saying that you want in a man, that you want in a relationship, that you want in a marriage. And so how do you help a young woman who is getting ready to make this decision to get involved with this young man based off of his potential? Because what else is she supposed to go by?
Count up the cost.
Because the name of this podcast is Pitfalls of Potential.
Yeah, she got to count up the cost.
So what else is she supposed to go off of?
She has to,
other than potential.
No, which is fine. She has to then eyeball the potential, and then she needs to make the decision of how much is it going to cost her? So because he's a seed or she, you could have a young man who, because I heard what you said, and I hate that whole like, oh, I have all these degrees and I have all of this. What does this person have? I hate that narrative.
Well, I was just giving kudos to my young ladies who handling their business.
And that's great, but that is what is for me right now, 2022. Why you have a lot of amazing single people.
Okay.
For that, because it's like I'm here or I've accomplished all of these things. And so now because of that, what area am I going to settle in? No, at the end of the day, we're just human people and let's start there. So for me, that young woman or that young man needs to look at that person and say, okay, this person is a seed. I am a freaking gardener. Is this going to require too much of me?
Do I have what it takes
to freaking
nurture this person
period
into becoming a harvest?
And if the answer is no, go away.
And see, and that's something good right there. Because when you think about a farmer.
Yeah.
A farmer is tremendously confident in his or her ability to get this seed to produce a harvest.
Yeah.
They understand what it takes. They understand the climate. They're married to the earth.
Not only are they married to the earth, they also are equipped for when pestilence and other things come into play. They work to what? Figure it out. Why? Because the harvest is what's most important. And so I think on the flip side of this coin, though, you have pitfalls that happen where people are so married to the potential that they are involved.
Prepared.
Or they're in pitfalls because now they had no business. Like they're in these trenches now because they're married to the potential.
Well, not only that, the pitfall is their inability to be prepared for the things that you mentioned.
Yeah.
They don't know how to handle pestilence. So it's tough for them to get that seed, to protect that seed into becoming a harvest. You know what they used to have back in the day? Scarecrows.
Oh, yeah.
See what I'm saying? So you're talking about the gardener. They don't got no scarecrows set up in the garden to scare the crows away from eating the crop. You see what I'm saying? Like they don't have these protectors or these guards in place for this potential. And so now this person who had potential is now getting eaten up by life.
But is there any point where you make the decision to walk away from that crop? Like, I can't, bro.
Yeah, and I think another part of the pitfalls of it is not only like, because let's be clear, like it's not solely the responsibility of the person to nurture this seed.
Of the farmer.
Right, to become, because what happens is some things are happening beneath the surface that the farmer can't see.
And he can't control neither.
He can't control because the seed is placing a demand on the soil.
Yeah. And
so now the soil is giving the seed everything it needs.
And I would say the soil is like
the person.
Well, not only that, the way that they were raised, childhood trauma, what they got going on beneath their surface.
Well, yeah.
For me, you're fighting against that too. You have some seeds that are just duds.
Well, you got seed. So the seed is also the soil, right? And so now the seed is, what kind of soil is it, right? What type of person is this? Does this person have perseverance? Is this person a go-getter? How does this person deal with adversity?
Yeah.
What's this person's outlook on life? You know what I'm saying? What's this person's network like? Like a lot of those variables is like soil. And so now you're able to see, okay, so he has potential, but he also has good soil, which means that, okay, that seed is going to place a demand on that soil. That soil consists of the things that I just mentioned. Yeah. And now that becomes almost like the recipe for a good harvest.
And I think that's then, for me, those are key indicators. Like the things that you named, those are key indicators that I think men and women should be identifying pretty early when dating.
Yeah.
How is she acting
when adversity comes?
When adversity comes, what's her network look like?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is she a go-getter? Is she sleeping in all day or is she waking up?
Yes.
Is she going to the gym? And I mean, me and you talk about this all the time. I've seen relationships not work because one person is extremely physically active. Yeah. And the other person's really lazy. And it's like, you have one person like pulling, come on, let's go to the gym. Come on, let's go ride bikes. Come on, let's go do this. And the other person's like, yeah. For me, if I was that male or female, I would make the decision to be done.
Well, because what you're noticing is you're noticing like this person has potential. Yeah. Right? But the soil ain't good.
That's it.
And what happens is we see foul soil. Because let's be clear, you can have some contaminated soil. Yeah. And we see foul soil, but because we're so busy looking at the seed,
the potential, I'm telling you, it's a trap.
We ignore the soil that seed is planted in.
Yes, sir.
And we make the decision, and that's where the pitfalls come in.
Yes, sir.
Is to ignore the soil. There it is right there. The pitfalls of potential is to ignore the soil and only pay attention to the seed.
And then y'all be thinking y'all got miracle grow.
Yeah, you think you got what it takes to make this seed grow. and you don't, because that seed needs the right soil. You know what I'm saying? Or watch this. You could also look at yourself like as the farmer and me the seed, but you could also look at yourself as the climate and me the seed. And certain seeds are only going to grow and sprout when they're in the right climate.
And for me, that you're speaking to, man, you have people who don't need to be together, and you have people who absolutely, you can look at them and tell, like, man, y'all are go great together.
Or you got people who they would flourish much better if they was with somebody else.
I've
you see what I'm saying?
I've seen it. We've seen it.
Yeah, they would flourish much better if they was just in a different climate. You know what I'm saying? But you're trying to grow, palm trees in Ohio.
Yeah, I want my palm tree. Like, you realize that your palm tree is not going to survive here.
It's not going to be at its optimum.
And then you mad because your palm tree is all wilted. It don't look like the other palm trees because you have no business.
And watch this. Here's the crazy part. Ohio, some people love Ohio weather.
I don't.
Palm trees are palm trees. They're both what they are. They're not bad or good. They're just both what they are. But they just don't go well together. Ohio weather and palm trees just don't go well together.
Oil and water.
You know what I'm saying? You just need to just take the palm tree and put it where it needs to be so that it can flourish.
But see, somebody would go and they would have the seed like, oh, I got a palm tree seed. And they are so excited about the potential of what's inside that seed. Like, we're not realizing you're not the right climate for that, though,
You're
sir
not the right
or
climate.
ma'am. You are not the right climate. And I think this is a lot of what Kevin Samuels was really saying. I just think that he was really brash in the way that he was saying it.
Well, he was very, very gender heavy with this.
He was really negative when it came to women. I think some of the he was communicating it wrong. But I think that there are some valid points to what he was saying, both for men and women. You have a man, and I think you say this great, for men who say they want a strong woman. Strong like what? Like, what's your definition of strong? You talking about a woman that can take out the trash and hold a house down? Because the flip side to that coin is an opinionated woman, a woman who is not going back down. Like, there's other, so you have to. Are you prepared to nurture? Like, is your soil? I'm not your soil. Is your climate suitable for this strong woman, bro?
Right. Because
and the same thing with women. I want an alpha man. I told all the women I've coached, they want this strong man. I'd be like, time out, because I'm married to one. There are things I have to have the climate for that, and there's times where I don't have the climate for it, and it's like, shoot, it's super rainy, and you like, I don't need it to be rainy. I need a bunch of sun right now, and so you better know what it is. You better know what seed you got.
Yeah, absolutely.
You better know what seed you have.
Absolutely. And you need to know what's most conducive for that seed to be successful. And it goes both ways.
Yeah.
Men and women, like the scripture gives a good viewpoint in this. It says that the man is supposed to dwell with his wife according to knowledge.
According to knowledge. You better know.
Right? You got to know what kind of seed, like you trying to do bean sprouts somewhere where they're not supposed to grow. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to understand what you're doing. And not only that, there are certain maintenance pieces that need to happen for that. I think our neighbor gave us a great analogy. He said they got a garden in the back.
Yeah.
And he said in order to keep the rabbits out, they put mint. They put mint around the garden so that the rabbits don't come in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To steal the harvest.
And he said his wife was basically on YouTube researching this, figuring out, how do I protect my harvest?
Yes.
How do I protect the potential?
Yes.
Because all of those started as seeds and the seedlings started to sprout, and then the bunnies was coming to smash.
Yes.
So she had to figure it out and do right. Why? Because that was what was important to her. And so I think there's so many things that go into play in this equation, and people don't want to put in the work.
Right.
People don't, man, I don't want to. That's too much work, or why I got to do all the work. It's to be in a relationship is selfless. To be in a marriage is selfless. You are evenly giving yourselves up.
Yeah.
Because what's most important is what is lying inside of both of you.
So potential, is it safe to say then that if you're not careful And if you don't really understand potential, potential can be a trap.
You'll mishandle it.
Potential can be a trap.
It can.
So watch this. So there's this quote, and it's loyal to potential can cause us to get betrayed by reality.
Man.
If you're loyal to potential, that can get you to cause you to be betrayed by reality. It means this. What's reality? Reality is just not tied to the potential.
Yeah.
The reality is tied to the person who is committing to the potential, right?
Yeah.
Reality is that seed might not have the strength to do anything because let's be clear, you have some dud seeds.
Yeah.
We're placing a very high demand on the person who's nurturing the seed, but you have some seeds, you go to Lowe's or wherever they sell seeds at and get these different seeds, they're just duds.
They are.
It's not going to do anything. I don't care what you do. You know what I'm saying?
You do.
It's just not going to do anything. And then you have some people who just don't have the ability to nurture the seed correctly. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the ability to put up the certain guards, and they don't know how to water it. They don't understand the correct soil. So you have both.
I think too, you said that the soil was actually the seed. I think for me, that is that is the biggest thing. If I'm coming, when I went to go look at flowers at Lowe's and I'm looking at the flower, on the flower, it says full sun or it says half sun or half shade.
Yeah.
Right on there, it's telling me. And I told you, I said, I can't buy that. Why? Because the way our house is, we don't have full sun in the front.
Right.
Potential will blind that.
Yeah.
It'll have you like,
you're so busy looking at the flower.
Because it's so bomb.
You're not realizing that
he's so fine.
Yeah.
He's so put together. He don't have no kids. It will blind you knowing good and dang on well you don't have full sun exposure.
And watch this. Here's the messed up part about it. Is the reason why that would not flourish is because of your position. Has nothing to do with him. Ooh. Because you said it. Our house is positioned in a way where we don't get full sun. Because you're not really analyzing your position in life, what you're trying to do, what your career moves are going to be, what your aspirations are, your position, you go and link up with him. You bring him into this situation. He got partial sun because the way that your life is positioned, and now he over here suffering.
That's good.
He's suffering. He don't know what to do with this. He's wilting away.
Because you were blinded by potential.
Blinded by potential.
And what's the reality? You just said it. Like the reality of the thing is your position, you cannot have a full sun plant.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're just not equipped.
And you can't be so loyal to what they could be that you're not real with yourself, with who you are.
Come on here.
You see what I'm saying? So yes, that flower that you talked about, it could be great. In the right environment, it could be amazing. But if you don't really analyze who you are, then you will couple who you are with what that could be, and now it's all bad.
And so men, let me tell y'all right now, stop being hoggish when it comes to women.
No, wait.
Yep.
You went straight gender. You went gender heavy.
Had to.
You went gender heavy. What's
Had
going on?
to because I see where men are very, very hoggish. They'll date like multiple women, like 4 or 5, and kind of like I want to keep them in my corral. I don't want anybody else to pick and choose.
Regardless of his position.
Yeah. Oh no, he got 4 or 5.
He got her in some shady environment, and she's supposed to be full of sunlight, and he
want all the plants.
Yeah, and she's not flourishing at all.
No,
because he wants all the plants.
He wants all the plants, and this for me is a great episode. It's just about being honest with yourself and your ability and your capacity, and being honest that man, he is full of potential, but my position is not, or she's full of potential. But she's full of potential. You stop dating women and you have no intention on planting her.
And here's the deal. I love that. But potential, I wrote this down, is only realized when it's practiced. So you got some people, like a quick sports analogy. He fast, he can catch, he don't got no work ethic. Right? So he's not working at what his potential is, which means the chances of him maximizing his potential is slim to none because he won't practice.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing in dating and relationships. You see potential, that's cool. Are they practicing the potential that you see? Or do you just see flashes of brilliance and then it goes away?
Man, you know, that's the church. Back in the day, I used to date people before I met the love of my life. And they would, I go to church.
Right.
Right. And so I would, boom, that was potential.
He's potentially a man of God.
Man, and their go to church was like Easter or Mother's Day with their mamas.
Yes.
And so I would abandon ship and I would just solely work on that. And I was the farmer and I could nurture that and I could make him
but he wasn't practicing his potential.
You cannot make an apple tree give you pineapples.
That's so good, man. So y'all look, we can really like dive into this a lot more.
All day.
But just make sure, I think like I want to give you a takeaway. Practice is the prerequisite to realizing the results of potential. If you feel like somebody has potential, my guy out there, you see her, she got potential. My young lady out there, he got potential. That's cool. But are they practicing the potential that you believe that they have? And if they're not practicing that potential and you decide to get involved anyways, you have just entered into a pitfall of potential.
And if they soil got worms in it, y'all need to leave them alone anyway.
Now that's just that's ridiculous. Listen, y'all, I'm glad y'all tuned in again. Hopefully this has been beneficial for you.
Oh, man.
Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share.
Subscribe.
All that good stuff.
Like, don't be just watching on Facebook and then not go to YouTube and subscribe.
Right.
I'm talking about 9 of y'all that we've had conversations.
Hey, you heard it.
Go to YouTube and hit the subscribe button. I got goals out here.
MMGA. Peace.
Bye.